to get you in the shop because the shirt looks fantastic. It has this like no limit flavor to it. Remember the Master P&M?
Yeah.
And you are a soldier. Nah.
Yeah.
Happy Father's Day.
Thank you.
Shout out to the guys who bring the family. I'm a sucker for that.
Yeah.
How big is it to bring the wife, bring the kids around, and let people know, like, yo, my man, I'm a fighter, I'm a legend, I'm a Hall of Famer, but I'm still a regular guy at the end of the day. Follow me as a good role model that you are.
Man, you hit me with a question that's gonna mess me up. I could get into it, but I probably wouldn't get through it. But it hits me on levels that my fans don't know.
Okay, we want to know. You know?
Yeah.
That's what's up. One of my favorite moments recently was when you brought the boys up to the podium post-fight.
That was my favorite.
It's the realness.
Yeah.
I know that we have Anuel, with the
If you guys
Real.
want to hear the story and you want, all right.
Yeah.
My father passed away, and when I was 3 months old, and my earliest memories are when I was 3 years old.
Okay.
That's how old my kids were.
The boys, yes sir.
So I've always remembered that. When they hit this age, that's the earliest memories. So when I had my kids, I wanted them to remember that I was a fighter.
And you get that reset, you get that redo, that second chance. You're living it.
Yeah.
And you're like, man, if I ever could do this right, you know I would.
Yeah.
You kept that promise to yourself.
Yeah. I was like, one thing that always was hard for me was people would talk to me about my dad and they tell me stories, and I was like, it was cool to hear, but it was kind of strange because I don't remember him. I was a baby. So it was important for me to let my kids, now when people say your dad was like a great fighter,
Kind of a
he was
big
one of
deal.
my favorite, I want them to remember, I want them to have memories. So for me to sustain my career long enough for them to have memories and for them to be here and impact.
I mean, can you believe that WEC shut its doors 11 years ago? And here you are, relevant as ever, inducted into the Hall of Fame. Can you even put that into words? I know I'm asking you for like something impossible, but
you're asking me the questions that I like because this is what I feel like people want to hear. Like, I feel like these are the questions people need to hear that they don't know that they want to hear. You know? So
yes, sir. That's fact.
This is why this is such a big deal for me, because I was 23 when I signed with the WEC, when I made it to the top of the food chain.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm going to be 39 this year.
Woo!
So my fans have seen me grow up.
We have.
So
From the blue gloves to the black gloves.
Yeah, I can't.
And to the Hall of Fame,
I
the
can't
gold.
hide. There's no. I can't pretend to be somebody. I can't put on a show like some of these guys. I can't, put on a song and dance. I'm just me, and you guys know me because you saw me as the rough, tough kid to a little bit more mellowed out Cub to the father. Like, you guys have seen my evolution, so it's very.
The nickname might be Cub, but you've been a Grizzly.
Well, see, but that was always the reason for the nickname, right? Killer Cub, because my everyday life, who I am not that killer. I'm Cub. But there's a piece of me is a killer.
When that cage locks.
Yeah, and that has been my therapy. And I'm that normal everyday person at home, and I get to be that normal everyday person, and I get to let it out. I'm kind of that person that bottles things up, and I need to let go, and fighting has been my therapy. And it's helped me grow as a person, and I am the human that I am because of this sport. So I never got into it to be famous. I didn't want to be rich. None of that mattered to me. I just wanted to be successful. And so the man I am today is because of this sport, and I'm proud of that.
That's awesome. And last one for me, why don't more guys, I know it almost seems like a trick question, but why don't more guys and gals use the platform as you have to bring a positive message? To not do the colored hair and the bling and the trash talking. We need more guys like you, the role models.
You'll make less money.
Okay.
You'll get less success.
Simple enough.
And I've accepted that. I've taken less money. I know that I could make more money if I did it this way, but that's not me. ever since the first time I had the opportunity to get on the Ultimate Fighter show in season 5, I tried out and everyone told me, you gotta be a jerk, you gotta do this. And I said, no, if I'm not gonna get on the show, it's because they didn't like me for who I am, and I'm okay with that. But if I try to be somebody that I'm not and I don't get on, I'll never forget myself. And I didn't get picked, and they said I didn't have TV personality, and I said, okay. And I'm fine with that. I'll make it on my own. I took the long road. And that's the thing is, some of these guys, like a Colby Covington, you know, I'll name him because I just don't care for his act. I think he's an amazing fighter.
Sure.
He took a shortcut because he's impatient. That guy would have made it to the top. He's an amazing fighter. Took a shortcut, trying to get paid. That's on them. They live with that. I don't want to live with that. I always knew that there would be life after fighting. I never wanted to walk my daughter to school one day and people go, man, you were an asshole. I just wanted to be like, man, you were a great fighter.
Yeah. The long road led to the red carpet. Congratulations, sir.
And Cub, obviously you're a UFC fighter to us, dad to your kids. How much of your UFC career do you share with your kids? Do you take them to the gym?
Yeah.
Do you tell them stories? Like, how do you balance the dad and the UFC fighter life?
Man, let me tell you, I'm training for fights sometimes in the more recent time, and on certain days, on my Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm doing 3 days. They're my hardest days. That's also the day I take my kids to jiu-jitsu. I don't want to do it.
Do you see their interest in the sport, and do you see them pursuing it?
Yeah, and I want them to know, but I don't want them to be fighters. It's a tough life, man. It's been great, but it is a tough life.
Yeah.
And I would prefer they do something else, but I want them to know how to defend themselves. I want them to know how to be proud. I want them to be able to keep their chin up.
This has been awesome. I don't want to keep you, so last question for me. Obviously, we're here for a great fight. Us as fans, we loved it. You as a fighter, some fighters are like, hey, that was great for you guys, but I like the fights where I dominate. When you look back on that fight, how do you grade it? Do you see that as one of your best fights? Or you go, hey, that was great for you guys, but I like my fights where I made it easier?
Yeah, nowadays, I've been my last 3 fights, I haven't made it out of the first round, so I'm happy with that. You know, that's never been my thing, but at the end of the day, the ones that were the hardest, honestly, the ones that were the hardest to walk out to, and that to me is a huge thing too, is fear and anxiety. I've been talking a lot about because I see fighters hide behind this macho thing, and it's like, yeah, we're all tough. You don't gotta be tougher than that. It's okay. Are you scared? Talk about it. Let's talk about it, because I'm terrified. I'm terrified of failure. But I make that walk anyways.
Thank you for sharing, sir. I appreciate it.